Okay, friends. So let's wait for the end of this live so that you can listen to that song fully. So this live on Wednesdays, that's what I have decided now on. That is, we will be having a live with this calling facility for our North Indian friends. So we are taking on a new journey so that we can reach out to more of our North Indian friends. So I think you need to understand how we do this, like the kind of live videos that we do on our channel. That is like we will be discussing various topics from around the world, especially related to Islam, how Islam is causing a trouble in the world, how it's a threat to the democracy, a threat to secularism and all. So I think everything is audible now. Hello. Okay, so on Wednesdays, this will be our new routine. So I welcome all of my North Indian friends, non-Malayali friends, so that they can listen to this. I was getting a lot of messages, comments, telling me that please come up with a new channel. That's not possible for me. Like, I have to do everything and all of this along with my job and other things. So it's very difficult for me to operate two channels. So I'm trying to do this mostly on YouTube and another one on Twitter. So for the friends on Twitter, there are a lot of koyas, or the typical madrasa products, the Muslim guys who are roaming over there and criticizing and trying to bring up some weird arguments and their usual typical slanders and ad hominem. So I welcome all of them to this program where you can dial me using the number which is displayed over there, and you can speak to me, you can debate me, and we can have a proper discussion over your points, and we will be streaming that live, and you can listen to that afterwards, and you will get a clear picture of that. So this is what we are planning from now on. So I hope this will work and this will be useful for all of our brothers and sisters of our country, so that we are seeing a wave of Islamism rising in our country. So we did a video last day, and that was something related to the riots in Bengal. And we made that video, and I'm happy that it reached some of the new audience, and we were getting a lot of good responses from that. And that's one reason why I decided to do this way. So my Malayali friends, please pardon me for this, and please don't push me for other languages like Hindi or Bengali or some other languages. And for this, I should thank Google and YouTube for that, because we have now the automatic dubbing feature for YouTube videos. So if I do this in English, this will be automatically dubbed in other languages, especially Tamil and Hindi and some other Indian languages as well. So, and from that you can translate and dub into any other language all over the world, like German or any, especially Arabic and Hebrew. So I think this will be pretty useful for the whole of the world, the humanity, especially if they are suffering from the virus called Islam. So now, before going to the call, that part of our program, usually that we do that way, like we have a discussion, then we move on to the call sections where we will be dealing with the calls. You have the number displayed here, you can call me on that. And we are not using StreamYard for this, because this is pretty more easy and accessible, and only normal call is allowed, no WhatsApp call or any other calls. So you can call directly, and this is mostly for the Indians. And if anyone else wish to call on me on this number from around the world, you are welcome. So before getting into that, we have a few or just one news, which is from Nigeria, and along with that, one good news from Ramallah, that is Palestine. So this news, which you can see here on the screen, this is from Nigeria. And what is it? This is something related to an attack by gunmen, leaving at least 40 people, civilians dead in Nigeria. And that's what we saw in the news. So what is it? In detail, you can pause and read if you want, or otherwise I'll just go into the details like this. Nigerian president said that at least 40 people were killed when Muslim gunmen believed to be herders attacked a Christian farming community in the north central part of the country, the latest in the increasing wave of violence in the West African country. So Nigeria, you know where it is. It's in the African continent, and it's known for Boko Haram, the most violent terrorist organization, which is known for the kidnappings of children, women, especially girls, and they take them and they convert them. They even kill them, and they exchange that for money, and they make all nasty things with them. It's usual terrorism that they do. That's their usual business. This is something which is along with that, which is happening in Nigeria, because we always say, when you look at Palestine, as you say, it's not just Hamas which is operational in Palestine. There are almost 70 plus militant groups, terrorist organizations which is working in Palestine, and each one of them they are having their own modus operandi, and they operate in a way that if you look at the October 7th attack, it's not just Hamas that they got into Israel and took the hostages and did all the terrorist activities over there. Most of the, or many of these terrorist organizations, they took part in this, and it's not just active violence that they took part. Even back at their home, what they did was they were giving warm welcome to the people, the real terrorist fighters, which they call as freedom fighters, who took the people and brought the hostages back to their villages, their homes, and they were making them into, and they were even calling them sabaya. Sabaya means slave girls, slave women, and they were even using them as sex slaves, and they were hiding them in their homes, in the dungeons and other places, and they were giving warm welcome to those people. So this is what we learned from October 7th, the nature of terrorism, or the terrorist activities that they carry out and how they do that. There are a lot of groups. It's not just one Hamas. Same way, if you look at Nigeria and or any other countries which is present in this region of MENA region, that is Middle East and North Africa region, and or the other countries in Africa, the Sahel region or the Maghreb region, you can find a lot of countries, and they are all suffering from this problem, that is Islamic terrorism. And each country or each region has their own homegrown Desi terrorist organization which is known for their violence and how they do it. So we'll come to that later on. So this is what that happened in Nigeria right now. So Amnesty International said that the victims, who included children and the elderly, were taken by surprise and could not flee from the gunmen. This is what happened over there. So if you are really so much moved by how the civilians are getting attacked, you must at least shed some tears for them, because terrorists, they are doing all these activities and civilians are getting killed. I cannot civilians, okay. So civilians, their lives are so much, we must pay homage to them. It's so valuable. Civilians, even if they get killed in any region in this world, we have to speak on that. It's not just when the civilians get killed in the Palestinian region that they are valued, or even when they are even killed by the Hamas terrorist the freedom fighters, which they call as freedom fighters, and they were getting killed by being used as human shields, and even then they were getting killed, and Sinwar was calling them as necessary sacrifice, and that's not a problem for the world. And now what the biggest activity that Hamas is now doing is to correct their list of civilians that got killed, because they are not able to come up with a final list of the killings, because that's most funniest thing that we can see now, because they, in the beginning and in throughout the conflict, that before the ceasefire, what they did was they were coming up with numbers, vague numbers, random numbers, like 500 got killed, 200 got killed, 50 got killed, 30 got killed, and so on. And now the problem is, the authorities, they started asking the real names, who got killed, and the nature of their death and other things, and they were totally answerless, speechless, because they were not able to give the right numbers. So what they did now is that they started correcting the list. They found out some of the names that are duplicated, some children who got or who died of some other diseases and some other conditions. women who got killed due to other conditions, and they were all classified as civilians who got killed in the war. And now they came up with another number, that is 50,000 got killed and 90,000 bombs were dropped in the region, and it's like 2 bombs for one person. And you just imagine 2 bombs killing just 1 person. This is the mathematics that they are raising. They are coming up with. It's not the numbers that is being claimed by the IDF or someone else. It's being claimed by the Hamas themselves. So we have to believe that. Okay, that's how the world works. So now they have come up with this number. So I'm asking, or we are asking, how come this is so precise that 2 bombs to kill 1 person? In that way, IDF should be so much precise in their attacks. You are agreeing to that precision attack. Okay, this you are proving by your own words, and I don't know whether to say kudos or to say unfortunate, because you are raising this, and you have to tell me which is the right word to give an exclamation for this. Leave it that. And now, apart from that, we are even seeing 70% of the people who were on the list as people of the age group 35, under 35, and they can be considered as active freedom fighters. And that's one reason the number of civilians are now getting reduced. So anyway, this list is not yet finalized. They are actively working on that. They are spending nights and days all together. So let's wait for their final numbers. Fingers crossed. Okay, that's it. And now, civilians getting killed, that's the big issue. And that's one big issue which I am always concerned on. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I think everything is audible and everything is fine. My Malayali friends, please pardon me. We will be like this on Wednesdays. Okay, so after that, there's one or a few statements from the people or the authorities from Nigeria. You can see that here. That's on the screen. This is from the Nigerian authorities. Such attacks have become common in this part of Africa's most populous country, that is Nigeria, where gunmen, typically herders from Fulani, a Muslim tribe, exploit security lapses to launch deadly raids on farmers in a fight over land resources. This is what is happening over there. So this is what I was telling you, that is according to Andy Yakubu, a local resident. Gunmen in Sunday night's attack also destroyed and looted homes. You might be aware of a slogan that is being raised during this Hamas protest. That is, Khaybar Khaybar Ya Yahud. You know what that slogan is? I forgot the later part of that. Khaybar Khaybar Ya Yahud. And the meaning of the rest of the slogan is that the army of Muhammad is yet to reach you. So on one side, what you are seeing or what you are hearing is that Islam is peace, and Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, he is known for the peaceful activities, and Khaybar, or the wars that is being waged by Muhammad, is something that is always done for defending themselves. It's not never he did a war, he waged a war as an offense. So this is what usually we hear from the apologetics. But when you hear the slogan that is being raised during this protest of Hamas and the pro-Palestinians, what is that? Khaybar Khaybar Ya Yahud. Khaybar Khaybar Ya Yahud, Jaish Muhammad Sawfa Ya'ud. This is what is it. So it's an Arabic language rallying slogan referencing the Battle of Khaybar 628 CE, which began after Muhammad marched with a large, you can read it from Wikipedia over there, a large Muslim army and besieged Khaybar, an oasis in present-day Saudi Arabia that was home to a noble Jewish community. So Khaybar was an attack that was directed towards the Jewish community. And now when the pro-Palestinian protesters are raising the same slogan, and they are telling this, that is raising this, shouting this, Khaybar Khaybar Ya Yahud, Jaish Muhammad Sawfa Ya'ud, they are literally saying that, they are literally reminding you that what happened to you in Khyber will happen again. So submit to our protest. You just leave from the place. This is what you say. This is what you are really intending, and this is what we call as a genocide call. And we cannot see that as a peaceful way of protesting. So you are calling for genocide, and you are complaining of genocide. This is what we see here. So now when we look at this statement, attack also destroyed and looted homes. What is this? Destroying and looting. This is what happened in Khyber. This is what Muhammad did throughout his lives. He did the same to many tribes in the region, in Saudi Arabia and in other regions during his time. Like, mostly he was attacking the Jewish tribes. We know many of them. You know the story of Banu Qurayla. What he did was that is what is exactly typical action or typical way of industrialized killing that he did on the Jews, which was directly enacted by the Hitler and the Nazi parties. What they did was they were digging trenches. They put the live human beings, Jews, into that trenches, and they were shooting. This is what exactly Muhammad did. But instead of shooting, what he did was he was dethroning them. This is what they did, what he did. And even a hadith in which it is mentioned that to ensure that some of the children who looked like children, but whether he was confused whether he was an adult or a children, he was raising their dress and looking for the pubic hair, and if it's grown, he was killed. So this is the way how the Jewish extradition was done, the kind of peaceful extradition of Jew, the executions. So we have to remember all these things through the teachings of Islam, because they are now speaking on peace. So we have to remind them what exactly the kind of peace is existing within Islam. So this is it. So now the statements are following like this. Like Yakubu said he saw bodies after the attack, and that the number of dead could exceed 50. No one has been arrested so far, he added. The Fulani have been accused of carrying out mass killings across the northwest and central regions, where the decades-long conflict over access to land and water has further worsened the divisions between farmers and herders, Christians and Muslims. This is what's going on there. And Amnesty says that between December 2023 and February 2024, 1,336 people were killed in the Plateau state in just 1 year. Okay. Not 1 year, December 2023 and February 2024. Okay, just matter of 3 months. Look at the numbers, and you won't see any tears dropping, any kind of protest against the perpetrators of these killings. You won't see that. But I have decided to use this same piece of cloth to wipe the tears. Okay, let's see. And now, Samuel Jugo, spokesperson of the Irigwe Development Association, an ethnic organization in the Bassa area, said in a statement on Monday that at least 75 people of the Irigwa, a Christian ethnic group, have been killed since December 2024. Jugo said that despite deployment of additional security forces to the area, violence still occurs, and described that the last assault as very provocative, vexing, and undeserving. Okay. In May 2024, armed men attacked remote villages in Plateau, killing at least 40 people during a late-night raid. You can count the numbers. The violence over land resources in north-central Nigeria is separate from the battles with Boko Haram, Nigeria's homegrown Desi indigenous jihadi group who took up arms in 2009 to fight Western education and impose their radical version of Islamic law. So this is it, and let's look into some of the details of this Boko Haram and how this region is affected by terrorism. So for that, you have to learn this word Boko Haram. It's not just Hamas; it's also Boko Haram, which is pledged their allegiance to ISIS, and they are now operating in the same manner, looking at Kafirs, fighting them. Fighting the West, fighting the Kuffar and all other things. It's common to them. So now you can look at these people, just an image to remind you about what Boko Haram was routinely doing in this region. And it's mostly kidnapping women, children, girls, and taking them, and they convert them, or they even use them to fight for them. All these are being done. So this is just an image, just to remind you if you have not ever seen this. So because you are mostly focused on Hamas and the problem going on in Palestine, so let's focus a little bit, very little, on Nigeria. It will be highly useful for you. Okay, so this is Boko Haram and the region, Nigeria and other places. You can see just a few details over them. The membership, hundreds to a few thousand. Extremism, Sunni Islamist group. Goal is to overthrow the Nigerian government, establish an Islamic state. The PFI, the Popular Front of India, who was operational in India and they got banned, they were also having the same goals, to establish, overthrow Indian government and to establish an Islamic state. That's exactly what they were also telling. And they were even hoping to get the support from the ISIS and the neighboring countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Turkey. That's the most successful sister concern, or sister or their brotherly country, for them to get the support in the crucial times of Islamic revolution. So that's what they had written in their 2047 mission document. And a few people have asked me for doing an elaborate video over 2047 document, and I'll be doing that very soon. So you can listen to that. So this is it. And some of their terrorist activities you can read here. Boko Haram kidnapped recently nearly 300 Nigerian schoolgirls on April 15. Some managed to escape, but the group's leader claimed he planned to sell the others. Okay, selling slaves, girls, women. You can connect it to the dots to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's not just Boko Haram that is operational in this region. You can learn some other names too. One is Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, AQIM. And they are also having the same goal, that is establishment of Islamic kingdom in North Africa. Then you have the Shabab, Al-Shabaab. That's another organization which is successfully leading the list of top 4 terror organization every year in all the global terror indices. So that's the most successful terror organization which you might be not aware of, because it's not that famous as Hamas is. So pardon me. They are also having the same goal: destabilize, potentially overthrow the government of Somalia, retaliate against regional neighbors of the military intervention in Somalia. This is what their goal is. And they have done many freedom fights in that region. Okay, then you have Lord's Resistance Army, and they are also having another extremism idea, and that is fundamental Christian. Just for a change, we have a Christian terrorist group here, and their goal is to install a regime in Uganda based on the leader of Joseph Kony's interpretation of the 10 Commandments. So people are now trying to copy them, and we have our own version in our country, that is to convert India into Hindu Rashtra. What they are trying to copy, or they are trying to oppose, is that in Islamic terror organization. So they are hoping for converting India into an Islamic organization, Islamic country. So some other groups are coming up here, and they wanted to convert our country into Hindu Rashtra. So forget about everyone is forgetting about democracy. Everyone is going to oblivion about the secularism and the whole neutral way of dealing the things. So what we are doing is, if you see an extremism on one side, a counter extremism is not the solution for that. That's always counterproductive. That will lead you into an unending process of violence and unrest and civil disturbances and civil war and all those kinds of disturbances which you can imagine what's going on in Afghanistan or in Pakistan or in Bangladesh. It's not going to help you. So the real solution is to uphold the neutral positions, especially which is relying mostly on democracy and secularism, and not the wokes. You have to mind that, because the wokes, they are typically enabling this Islamist force, and they are giving more chances for the counter forces like the right wing extremism, and what we are seeing here as the Christian extremism. That's what we are seeing in Uganda. So that's just one example you can see here. So now coming to the bigger picture towards the 2024 and 2025, you get even more updated versions of this terrorist index. So here you can see a pictorial representation of how this terrorism is ongoing in the world using this image. You can just Google and get enough images of these kind of representations, and it's easy for you to get an idea of how this is going on. And we have the Global Terrorism Index of 2025 as well. So I'm just taking 2024 for getting an idea of how this is giving a way of representation, like how the countries are included in this. So in this, you get these countries. So here you can see overall results measuring the impact of terrorism. This is what it is. Here you can see 27 countries on the first column. You can read each country: Burkina Faso, Israel, Mali, Pakistan, Syria, Afghanistan, Somalia, Nigeria, Myanmar, Niger, Iraq, Cameroon, Democratic Republic of Congo, India, Mozambique, Colombia, Chile, Kenya, Philippines, Egypt, Chad, Palestine, Yemen, Benin, Togo, Iran, Uganda, and it goes on. So if you look at this list and if you try to find out the nature of the terrorist organization and the name of the terrorist organization, most of them are Islamic terror organizations, and the most affected ones, the top 10, you can take Burkina Faso, Islamic terror; Israel, Hamas attack, it was an Islamic terror. Hamas is an Islamic terror organization. You must call it that way. Mali, another country which is facing Islamic terror. Pakistan, Islamic terror. Syria, Islamic terror. Afghanistan, Islamic terror. Taliban. Somalia, Islamic terror. Nigeria, Islamic terror. Myanmar, the Rohingyans issue again. Then Niger, Iraq. So this list is from 2024, and there's no much difference when it comes to 2025. You can go and read that report. It's already available on the site. You can just search Global Terrorism Index 2025. You will get the whole report, and you can relax and read that, and you'll get some more information regarding the new emerging startup terrorist organizations as well, and you might even get some insights into beginning a new terrorist organization if you wish to. Okay, so over 40 militant groups have pledged allegiance to ISIS. This is why we call ISIS as the biggest threat in the world. It's not just a terrorist organization group that you hear by the name of ISIS. ISIS is just the name of a conglomeration of multiple terrorist organizations which is pledging its allegiance to Islamic State, and they are all working towards the same goal, and they are all even sharing the common flag. That's what you can see here. So even in the last day's protest that we are seeing in West Bengal, even you might have seen some of the protesters raising the flags of Hamas and some other terror organizations. I have seen a few pictures where they are raising that. So this is how they directly or indirectly support, or they channel towards ISIS and their ideals of Islamic terrorism and establishment of an Islamic State. So what Popular Front was telling was to convert India into an Islamic State. Now they are banned and they are in the jail, prison, enjoying the meals over there. But at the same time, there are multiple other people with the same goals, and they are trying to force these ideals into the common Muslims, and they are trying to in fact, Muslims are getting affected by this virus of Islamic terrorism, Islamic jihadism, or Islamism, whatever name you call it. So this is what it is. You can pause the video and you can read all these names at your ease, because it's all just for information purpose. That's it, because there's nothing new in that. For your understanding, I'll just read out a few. Palestinian Authority, that's one terror organization which has pledged their allegiance to ISIS, and it operates in Palestinian region, and this is one of the organization which was supporting even the October 7th attack. Okay, now Egypt, you have this Junda al-Khilafa ISIS Sinai province. Libya, you have Fezzan and their organization in that region. Tunisia, you have their own organization. Algeria, you have. Then the Sahara region, then Mali, Burkina Faso, and all those regions you will get the names. So this is how it goes. And the Palestinian Authority, you might find, I said in the beginning, you might find even 50 plus, 70 plus organizations, and many of them have pledged their allegiance to ISIS. And the major ones are even Hamas. Hamas is not directly the Sunni, Shia issues are there, but still they are having the goal of eliminating a Jewish state. So they are sharing some of the goals. So as long as Israel is their common enemy, they will fight together. But the moment Israel is defeated, you can find the Jagada between Sunni and Shia. That's yet to begin. They have just taken a pause for that. So let's wait for some time. So this is it. And now the terror and turmoil, and there's a glimpse of the major areas in the world where terrorism is operational and how the people are affected. You can find the countries over here: Pakistan, Afghanistan, Mali, Burkina Faso, and almost, I would say, for the consecutive 2-3 years, the country which is mostly or thoroughly or continuously affected by terrorism is Burkina Faso. This is the most terrorism affected country. And in the 2024 report, you can read here, the deadliest terrorist group in the world in 2022 were Islamic State and its affiliated, followed by Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam, JNIM, then Hamas and Al-Shabaab. This is from the 2024 report, and you can read it here. And if you look at the same report, you will get the most 20 deadliest attacks. You can pause and read the details here, but just a glimpse at the first 10 terror attacks. The first one was in Israel, October 7th, and on one single day, Hamas could kill 1,200 people over there, and even they took many hostages, and still they are suffering in the dungeons of Hamas, where they are still kept captive, and almost 50 plus people are still in their captivity. And you can find the other countries: Niger, Tillaberi region, and the group was JNIM. 200 people were killed. In Syria, the separatist national organizations, they are also going on, the Alawites, the Sunnis, Shias, and having the usual fights. Again, Islam is the reason over there. Pakistan, we have the TTP. They are they are well known for their terrorism in that region. Then Burkina Faso, that's another country. As I said, Sahel region, Islamic State is the main perpetrators over there. Then Burkina Faso, again, that is JNIM. So multiple terror organizations giving headaches to a single country. Even India was like that in one part of the history, or maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago. You might be listening to news every day or the other, like Lashkar-e-Toiba, Al-Qaeda, Jaish-e-Muslim, Harkatul Mujahideen. All these were the names. And at a time when I was growing up as a school kid, and when I was joining the college and all, I was always wondering, how come they get all these beautiful names for these organizations? And even I still remember, for my kid, if I get a kid after my marriage, I kept a name for that boy child, because I was totally fascinated by the kind of names that they give to the terrorist organizations, and I even reserved a name for my boy child. I am not telling that name, but still it's saved on my phone and it's over there. And I look at that right now, and I always smile and remember my past, how brainwashed I was, and I was always fascinated by the terror, the people, how much focus they are into religion, how much with what intensity they are focusing on the religion and following the religious scriptures, and they are too much adherent to the religious instructions and all. So there was always a guilt in me that, okay, I am a common man and I am not able to live as 100% a perfect Muslim. So at least I should try for 100%, and maybe I may fall on 80%, maybe, or 75%. Even that is good, because it's a B+, A+, and all. So this is the way a Muslim is brought up, especially if he is exposed to this extreme religious instructions, or the the intensity at which people are following all these things, and it's giving them a kind of a fascination, a kind of a guilt. It's a combination of guilt and fascination. So it will reinforce the belief in it. So that's one stage in your life maybe every Muslim might be going through, and that's why we are focused on criticizing Islam, to give them a chance to for a reality check, so that they will get a version other than what they are being taught in the madrasas or in the circles, jihadi circles, so that they will get a chance to look at what the other things are. Like, if you say Muhammad is the perfect example or perfect model, the incredible timeless model, we are giving them a chance to examine that statement. Like, okay, whether is Muhammad really an incredible timeless model? Prophet Muhammad, I'm speaking of Prophet Muhammad, not Muhammad Hijab. He's now caught between some misyar marriage, the what do you call Muta'a marriage. Muta'a is for Shias, and Misri, that other version of that is for the Sunnis. Temporary marriages, or they indulge in such things, and now they are getting caught and they are getting exposed. Muhammad Hijab is in some boiling water. We are not going deep into that, but one funny thing that I noticed in that is that the woman who was complaining about Muhammad Hijab, and she leaked some of the WhatsApp chats regarding their relation and other things, and he even tried to intimidate her, and he was trying to message her further. And for that, he used the reason, at least you could have remembered Palestinians. That's our highest ideal, highest goal for our existence. You should have kept silent. Now everything is ruined. My image is ruined. Now I cannot speak anything about Palestinians. So at least you should have kept silence, thinking about Palestinians, and you should have suffered in silence. This is what Muhammad Hijab was telling her. So my point is that if you are sexually attracted to some person, and if you need sex and other things, you just go for that with the legal systems which allows you for that, for the ways which is being laid in front of you. It's always there. That's your way of doing it. But what you are doing is that you are always saying that only a true Muslim will be morally superior. He won't indulge in such sexual activities. We always despise that. Only a true Muslim will be something like no such actions. He is always a virgin and with high morals and other things, and silently going and doing all this mut'a marriage, temporary marriage, and they name it whatever the way they want. And when they get caught, they even use Palestine as a reason to stop the blame. So this is what we are saying here. So don't do this hypocrisy. It's time to end this hypocrisy. When you place Prophet Muhammad as a model, and you claim that because of Muhammad that you are having this moral ground, that's the reason why we bring up Muhammad and his filthy sexual practices, including he being a pedophile where he was having sex with a child. So that's the reason why we bring up Prophet Muhammad. So stop this. No one in Islam, no one in Islamic scripture is safe from this filthy culture. You don't have the moral grounds, the righteous moral ground to claim moral righteousness, because you don't have that. You are completely, not just you are not having that, what you are having is exactly opposite to that, and exactly which ruins the normal moral ethical principles that a modern human being must have. This is what we see in Islam. That's the reason why we criticize Islam. It's not just because we randomly select Islam and criticize. You are bringing up Islam as a reason for your moral high, so that we have to expose it. That's what we are doing. And now you yourself are getting exposed. That's what happened to Muhammad Hijab. Peace be upon him. Okay. So moving on, we will now get into the call. So you can call. I prefer callers who can speak in English come forward, so that we have discussions in English, and the friends from our North Indian circles can listen to us. And for YouTube, this is something very new. So initially that will be just like we during the days that we started our channel with maybe 1,000 subscribers or so. Something that we are doing as a new experiment. So it will take time. So persistence, the way that we do it, and consistency, everything matters. So please encourage me to do this every Wednesday. So please remind me to do this every Wednesday. Please bombard with your comments and your suggestions, reminding me to do this on every Wednesday. So you are welcome to call and we will have a discussions. You can raise your doubts, you can share your experiences, share your concerns, your suggestions and everything. So let's get into that. Hey Sabhi Bache. Yes, someone from North India. Oh, that's a spam call. We'll have some nasheed.
The person you are trying to reach is...
He's not taking the call. So let's wait. 30 missed calls. Shabin. Okay, who's that? अरे शबिन जी, अटेंड कीजिए ना. Hello. How are you?
Haris Sarano?
Yeah. Arif sir speaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am calling.
Yeah, please be in English so that our North Indian friends too can understand.
Oh, okay, sir. I'm not fluent in English.
No problem. You can speak the way you want. No problem. Okay, you can speak in Malayalam.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
എനിക്ക് വളരെ കുറേ കാര്യങ്ങൾ സാറിനെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നവരാണല്ലോ. Talks, correct.
Okay.
Not 100%.
Not 100%.
Yeah.
That's one myth. Okay. Nobody understands. Nobody agrees 100% with anyone.
Yeah. ഒന്നാമത് ഞാൻ പറയാം, ഞാനൊരു ഇസ്ലാം മതത്തിൽ ജനിച്ച വ്യക്തിയല്ല.
അല്ല. Okay.
അല്ല. ഹിന്ദുമത കുടുംബത്തിൽ ജനിച്ച വ്യക്തിയാണ്. അമ്പലത്തിൽ പോകാറുണ്ട്. വിശ്വാസം കുറച്ചൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല. അതായത് ഒരു എന്തിനും ഹിന്ദുമതം പൂർണ്ണമായി ശരിയാണെന്നോ അങ്ങനൊന്നും ഞാൻ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നില്ല. സ്കൂളിൽ തന്നെ.
So what's the purpose of your call?
എനിക്ക് ഒറ്റ സങ്കടമുള്ളൂ, ശത്രുവിനെ മിത്രമായി കണ്ടത്, അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ.
Who is that? Shatru? Who is the Mitram?
ശത്രുവിനെ മിത്രമായി കണ്ടാൽ അതും നാടിനാവത്താണ്.
Who is the Shatru? Who is the Mitram?
തീവ്ര ഹൈന്ദവതയെ മിത്രമായി കാണുന്നതും നാടിനാവത. ഇപ്പം
So you are telling me that I am finding Hindutva as a friend?
Yep.
Where,
I feel like that.
You feel
in some way.
You
in
feel
some
that?
way.
That's not my problem.
I'm not.
Your feelings are not my problem.
Okay, sir. I'm not against you. I'm just to say.
That's fine. But your feelings are not my problem. You can just keep watching. You will get an idea what I'm saying. My point is this: if you are trying to criticize the right wing, the rise of right wing, the rise of Hindutva factions, even I mentioned it in my speech earlier in this session itself. That is, okay, forget about what is happening now. You know that there is a Hindutva faction which is operational in our country. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the point of their beginning in Indian history? When did they came into existence? What is the point? Which year?
I'm not a history student. I'm not an expert in history.
You have to study history then.
Yep.
If you study history, you cannot just give a blind eye to the history and you just conveniently select some dates randomly from the calendar and just support or just begin your fanciful imaginations and your conclusions.
അല്ല സർ, ഞാൻ അതിനെ പറ്റി അല്ല ഞാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത്. ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ കാര്യം പറയുമ്പോൾ ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ യുപിയിലൊക്കെ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവിടെയൊക്കെ റിലീജിയസ് ഡിസ്ക്രിമിനേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്.
How can you isolate just a date from your calendar and start from there? How is that possible?
ഞാൻ എന്റെ മനസ്സിൽ ഹിസ്റ്ററി സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമരം ഒന്നാം ഇന്ത്യൻ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമരമൊക്കെ എന്റെ മനസ്സിൽ വരിക ആദ്യം.
Okay, so what is
1857 ഫസ്റ്റ് വേൾഡ് വരിക.
So 1857 to 1947, what all things happen in between? Do you have any idea?
നാട്ടുരാജ്യങ്ങൾ പല സ്ഥലത്ത് വെച്ചിട്ട് ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാരാക്കി. പിന്നെ ഇന്ത്യൻ കോൺഗ്രസ് ഓരോ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ വെച്ചിട്ട് ഓരോ ചെന്നൈ ഓരോ മീറ്റ്. പിന്നെ ഒന്നാമത്തെ കാര്യം ഈ ഇന്ത്യൻ കോൺസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ തന്നെ.
Give me the timeline. We started from 1857.
Yeah.
Okay, let's reach first 1947. Then we will come to 2025.
Then form the Indian Constitution.
But, so before that, what happened?
At that time,
you forget about 1921. What happened in 1921?
1921.
Invention of Maruti 800.
No,
1921. What happened?
1919 in my mind. In our school, എന്താ പറയാ,
1921 എന്താ സംഭവിച്ചെന്ന്
ഞാൻ ജസ്റ്റ് 19 മനസ്സിലുണ്ട്. 21 എന്തായിരുന്നു
പറഞ്ഞിട്ടേ പോവുള്ളൂ.
ഓർമ്മയില്ലാത്തോണ്ടാ. ഞാൻ 10ാം ക്ലാസ് വരെ ഹിസ്റ്ററി പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളൂ. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ സയൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു.
You have 20 seconds. Answer me. What happened in 1921?
അല്ല, സീരിയസ്ലി മറന്നു പോകണ്ട. അപ്പൊ ഗൂഗിൾ സെർച്ച് എനിക്ക് കിട്ടും.
ഞാൻ പച്ചമലയാളത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞുതരാം എന്താ ഇയാളുടെ പ്രശ്നം. ഓക്കെ, നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രശ്നം എന്താന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചരിത്രം അറിയില്ല. ഒന്നാമത്തെ കാര്യം. പോയിന്റ് നമ്പർ 1 അതാണ്. യു ഡോണ്ട് നോ ഹിസ്റ്ററി.
ഹിസ്റ്ററി ഇന്ത്യ ബ്രിട്ടീഷ് വാറായിട്ട് ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല. പിന്നെ ഇന്ത്യക്ക് ഒരു നിയമം വന്നു, ഒരു നിയമ സംഹിത വന്നു, അതിൽ വന്നു.
നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സമയം തന്നു, നിങ്ങളോട് ചോദ്യം ചോദിച്ചു, രണ്ടും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല, ഉത്തരവും പറയാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. ഇനി ഞാൻ പറയണ കേൾക്കൂ പ്ലീസ്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചരിത്രം അറിയില്ല. യു ഡോണ്ട് നോ ഹിസ്റ്ററി. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ റൈറ്റ് വിങ് ഉണ്ടായതിന്റെ കാരണം അറിയില്ല. യു ഡോണ്ട് നോ ദ റീസൺസ് വൈ ദ റൈറ്റ് വിങ് ഗോട്ട് എ ഫുഡ് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ. അത് നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയില്ല. ഇവിടെ റൈറ്റ് വിങ് എങ്ങനെയാണ് വളർന്നതെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയില്ല. യു ഡോണ്ട് നോ ഹൗ ദേ ഗ്രൂ ഇൻ അവർ കൺട്രി. ഇനി നാലാമത്തത്, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണ് ലോകത്ത് ഈ റൈറ്റ് വിങ് വളരുന്നതെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയില്ല. യു ഡോണ്ട് നോ ഹൗ റൈറ്റ് വിങ് ഈസ് ഗ്രോയിങ് all around the world, globally. That's a global phenomenon. Okay, ഇതൊന്നും ശരിയാണെന്നല്ലല്ലോ നമ്മൾ പറയണത്. ദിസ് ഈസ് ദ റിയാലിറ്റി. ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഞാൻ പറയണ പോലെ പറയാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചിട്ട് വരൂ, അപ്പം നിങ്ങളിത് പറയും. അപ്പം നിങ്ങൾ നല്ല തനി സംഖ്യയായിട്ടായിരിക്കും എൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ. അന്ന് ഞാൻ നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലായ
എനിക്കൊരിക്കലും സംഖ്യ പറ്റില്ല. അച്ഛനും അമ്മ എന്നെ പഠിപ്പിച്ച അതാണ്. കാരണം ചെറുപ്പത്തിൽ ഏറ്റവും ആധിക്യമായി
അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അച്ഛനും അമ്മയും നിങ്ങളെ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു തന്നെ. എന്താണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പഠിപ്പിച്ചത്? 1857 കുറിച്ചും പഠിപ്പിച്ചു, 1947 കുറിച്ചും പഠിപ്പിച്ചു, 1921 കുറിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പഠിപ്പിച്ചു തന്നില്ല. അത് തന്നെയാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രശ്നം. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പറയൂ 1921 എന്താ സംഭവിച്ചത്? What happened in 1921? അത് പറയും. അങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സൗകര്യമുള്ള വർഷവും അങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സൗകര്യമുള്ള കലണ്ടർ എടുത്ത് വെച്ചിട്ട് ചരിത്രം വളച്ചൊടിക്കുന്ന പരിപാടിക്ക് എന്നെ കിട്ടില്ല. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ബൈ, ജയ് ഹിന്ദ്. മതി. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ഇതാണ് വോക്ക്. This is what a woke, this is how a woke looks like. They just choose the dates. They just bring their own calendar. They just omit crucial events. They just erase history. They just cherry pick history, and they just make a narrative. And they try to defend that. That's what is happening over here. And this is how wokeism functions. And we just spoke to a woke here. Okay. Okay, Kiran Radha Karunakaran. Let's give her a call back. Her or him. Okay, Kiran Radha.
Hi, bro.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, I am a Malayali, but then let's speak in English.
Very good. Congratulations.
Not a Kerala settled Malayali.
Very good. Where are you from? In which part of the country?
I'm from Bangalore.
Bangalore, okay.
Yeah, so I grew up most of my time. I was in Bangalore from Kalyanagar, Kamali.
Okay, don't give your precise locations because it might land you in some trouble. So just go on.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to know something.
Okay.
Thing is, you talk mostly about Islam, which is very very apt for the time that we are living in. Also, you say that a lot of people who are free thinkers used to criticize all other religions, and I saw a lot of your videos where you say that they did not have guts to speak about Islam those days. You have the guts to speak about it, and in these times, there are a lot of free thinkers like you speak about it. But also, you have a lot of information that you give about Quran that is very shocking.
Shocking.
So, yes,
Okay.
very shocking.
So
Because
why
when
it is a
we-
shock? Like, did you have or you had a prior information regarding Quran being
No,
so peaceful
to
or
be
something
very
like
frank,
that?
let me tell you. To be very frank, I grew up in a defense background where I had traveled all around India for some time before settling down in Bangalore, and we had friends from all corners of India and all religions. So we grew up in the 90s. We are like that analog digital world where we had a little bit of technology and most of the time in the playground. Just probably maybe your age as well, probably in late 30s. So yeah, so that time religion was never a matter in our play areas or in our houses as well. I mean, any of our parents used to go out, we used to just be chill out, relaxed environment. Maybe army or defense
But
or
I
Air
have a
Force.
question here. You're speaking about religion, but were you concerned about caste?
No,
No.
not,
when
not
you-
at all in army.
In army.
Yes, but in caste.
I'm
about in
asking about
army.
your family, where you
Yes.
had a chilling time, where
Uh-huh.
you were totally ignorant about the religion and its.
No. That is not the world that we live in. RF, you also know that. So
No.
yes, caste-
I live in a world where caste is bigger than religion in a Hindu community. So that's why I'm asking.
That is very, very true. That is very, very true.
So
It comes
when you
off-
say that
it
religion was
comes off-
never a matter in your discussions or in your circles, I just wanted to know
I'm
whether
talking
caste
about my
was
friend circle.
in any circle.
Yeah. So in when we grew up, I grew up in a central school environment where everybody spoke in Hindi. सब हिंदी में बात करते थे, and we, even though we used to be from same state, let's say for example Kerala, we used to talk to each other in Hindi. So most of our times were with friends. And yes, caste was part of every Hindu family. I'm not denying that for a fact. It used to come as a casual talk, being belittling somebody's caste or talking about their caste being the royalty and everything, which is not at all shocking, which is part of the life that we grew up in. But when it came to playground, when it came to the friends that we were in, at least till the time we were in 12th standard, it never came out as a caste. Because probably we were part of army.
Okay, so-
we had bigger.
Yeah, so it's
I mean,
like in
yes.
your circles, caste was not a problem. But will you agree that caste is still a problem in India than
It is.
Hindu
It
religion?
is. It is. It is.
So-
it is.
so-
People carry their
Yeah.
they carry their surname as though they have got it directly from the
Do you
gods.
have a surname?
No.
No.
Luckily, no.
Congratulations. At least let it begin. And as you said, you are from Kerala. I can understand. We have a lot of.
Yeah, the name that you read it in the beginning, it is my mom's name in the middle and dad's name in the last.
Ah, okay. Because Kiran is the name, right? Kiran is one of my friends. Her name is Kiran, so I thought it's a woman. That's why.
Yeah, it's a unisex name.
Yeah, so that's why.
So basically it was never a problem. But then when we graduated and then few of our friends got into some kind of cult called Peace Foundation or something, where Mr. Zakir Naik was the leading forefront leader of it. And they started teaching. We used to go for Eid meal and Ramzan meal or something. And we used to just enjoy, have a biryani, come back, probably chill out or things like that. But then they started showing us presentations, talking to us that if let's say we meet a girl on the road, like who's my friend, just like how you said Kiran is your friend. Let's say I'm talking about ABC, she was my friend, and I'm talking to a friend who's a Muslim, and this friend walks beside me. This is a real incident, and she just saw me. Hi Kiran, I saw her, hi ABC or so. Then I just gave her a friendly hug. And then I said, I'll just walk her towards her house and then come back and talk to you. By the time I came back, he said that it is all wrong. You shouldn't hug a stranger. You shouldn't talk to the lady like that. I was like, kya hua be tere ko? We used to talk shit. We used to talk things differently. Why sudden so orthodox and things like that? But that was one cultural shock that I experience, because we used to talk about religion in a very funny way, but at the same time we used to have a respect for each other's religion as well, in the sense not that we respect any god or something, but we respect each other's tradition of their house. So this was a shock. Then suddenly I see two of my friends got into this, they converted and everything, they started growing beards, they started acting weird. Then I got to know about Islam in a very deep manner. Then I ended up watching all you guys. I mean, you are not the start, but then many like Tariq Fateh and everything, who started talking about Islam in a peaceful manner, Quran in a peaceful manner. They say that it is not in an analogical order, something called jihad or something like that. And a lot of things. But then it just come to an
So in a way, you're just giving an idea that how you came into this path of learning Islam and getting this shock, right?
No, I am frankly speaking, you came in a path where I don't want to learn religion.
Oh, but it happened accidentally.
Yeah, but then when I hear stories like this, it's like very condescending. I mean, when I meet, I have Muslim friends and they're very good with me. But then we don't talk religion. It's just like basic fear that something might come out of.
So from when on, or from which moment that you realize that the society has changed, they are now more into religion and it's more like inflammable situation?
Probably I would say that the internet brought too much orthodoxy into a different section of society. Let's say, for example, if there was a .com bubble in the starting of 2000s, in 2010, 11 or something, when social media came across, lot of information went through, lot of misinformation went through, and that.
So you mean to say that internet is the reason where internet was used by both the believers and by the critics to use their information to spread their information?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's.
So don't you think that's a good thing to happen to the world?
I mean, don't you think that you guys are a little later than the believers?
No. I won't say that, because this is the right time. See, you cannot have all this hindsight bias or something like that. Like, because when I sit here in Kerala and do this, you know why I'm able to do this, and you know why people in your state, in the state where you are present, is not having the same way of liberty of doing the things what I'm doing here in Kerala. What's the reason?
I don't know.
You have to know that. You have to know that, because that's because we in Kerala had a long history, a history of more than 40 years of constant rationalism, spread of rationalist ideals, like people like Jabbar Marsh and many other people like them.
Yes, Jabbar. I got to know him through you.
So when you speak specifically about criticism of Islam, Abdul Ali, Jabbar, and many other people like them, like even our Chaganur Maulavi, he was not typically an ex-Muslim, but he was an insider critic of Islam. But these people, what they did was almost in a time when we cannot even imagine. So when I sit here in my studio and do this, I feel completely safe, except for the the social media lynching that I might expect on the comment section or on the other areas where completely it's online. Jabbar Marsh or people like Abdul Ali and other people, they were speaking in front of live human beings who were totally agitated and they were ready to beat them to death. And even Jabbar Mash was even attacked multiple times, and he's having a loss of ear on one side. You know that. So then how can you say that we are late? We are early. India is safe in that way. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm trying to say that you are late in using the technology.
Technology came now. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, these believers in all aspects started using technology.
No. Now we have surpassed them. You must know that.
Oh, okay, that's great to hear, Arif. I'll tell you one thing.
Because that's the reason why I celebrate all my achievements, like reaching 100K, 200K, 500K and all. Now my aim is to reach 1 million. Why? Because if I reach 1 million, that means what? We are surpassing a lot of channels and other people who are. I still remember when I was around 50K or so, I was looking at some of the channels here, and they were having a lot of fan following, a lot of believers going there and listening all the rubbish over there. And now I can say that at least we are having more reach among the believers.
Yeah.
So
you should. Also, Arif, I also see a lot of things like you tell different interpretations of you're like hadith. I mean, as a common man, I never knew hadith had some sahih ayat or galat, or I don't know what you call it.
This is the reason why we say that internet kills Islam.
So when you say that, I have to say
it's not just Islam. Internet will kill all misinformation. Internet will kill all pseudoscience. Internet will kill all unscientific things, inhuman things, whichever things which is harmful to human beings will be killed by internet. That's what I'm saying.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So that's how information works.
I'm not a complete non-believer.
That's
but
totally
what
fine.
But what I can definitely say is I can only remember what Dalai Lama once said.
I just have one question to you. Despite you being a believer, would you support misinformation? No, that's what I'm saying. So even if you are a believer, you have to decide between whether to support misinformation or to not to support.
I mean, see, I'll tell you one thing. My first emotion when ladies started going to Shabrimala was very emotional. I have to be very frank with you. I started thinking in a very irrational manners and everything. But then after I calmed down a bit, I sat down, I said, in a democracy, constitution should always win, and in constitution, Supreme Court is the fourth pillar of the society. If Supreme Court decides that is the way it should go ahead, so be it. You should accept what it is for. I mean,
and you accepted it.
I accepted
Good
it.
of you. Anyway,
I'm not saying that I am not born without bias or something.
Absolutely, this is what I'm saying. Even when I say all this, when I criticize Islam, when I pinpoint the problems of Islam, in fact, I'm not pushing to any Muslim to become an ex-Muslim. That's not my point. My point is to make them aware that the Islam which they speak so much high of is not exactly just like what they are thinking. It is having problem. It is an issue. Islam is causing some trouble to the society. You have to realize that this is our aim. So if you are saying that it is okay just because it's mentioned in the religion, that's wrong. You have to reject things even if it is mentioned in your religion, which you consider as the highest moral setting. So this is what I'm saying. So just like you were able to reject the idea of not to let women enter the Shabarimala just because it was mentioned by a court, you took it that way. That's what I'm also saying, that should be the way forward for every believer. It's not that you have to defend the religion tooth and nail and even get ready to get just blown by the bombs like suicide bombing and all. That's not the way. That's what I'm saying.
Dalai Lama once said that if science is able to prove a religion wrong, then you should follow science. Take science to its face value. when it is trying to prove something.
Anyways, such.
No, I'm not saying that Dalai Lama says everything right.
No, that's
I
fine.
know.
So if someone says a good thing, that's fine. We can accept that. But that doesn't mean that that's an insulation for protecting them for what they have they have did as some nasty things. Like, I'm not giving examples. You can take any person, just like Prophet
correct.
Muhammad. That's
I
not
agree.
easy to defend all the wrongdoings as well. That's not what we are expecting from a believer. Okay.
No,
Taking good things, okay, perfect, fine, we agree that. But taking and upholding and claiming that's something that is being done so wrong as the best model, we cannot agree to that. Okay.
Correct. I'll tell you one more thing. I mean, to be very frank with you,
We have to move on
There
to the
are-
next
there-
caller, that's why.
I understand, Arif. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I mean, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to call you and talk to you peacefully because you can never talk in peace to someone. So I'm glad I can be a little peaceful with you.
Okay, peace be upon you. Real peace be upon you. Okay,
see you,
thanks for
Arif.
calling. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you can expect this event on every Wednesday. So if you're free, you can make a call and share your
Yeah.
experience
Alright.
and other things. So
Yeah.
just make sure
I'm
that
working,
you are
so I
prepared
was
for
like,
that.
call you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, bye.
Bye. So, hope the nasheed is audible. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Who is
Hello,
this?
sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Should I specify that, sir?
No problem.
I'm actually from Kerala. I'm a Hindu.
Okay.
I just want to know your views on this work bill
What
because
bill?
many of the Muslims are really protesting against it. I
Okay.
don't know the reality because the problem
Muslims
is that
are protesting against them. Name a Muslim who is protesting against.
we can see most of the people in the comment box who is like really radical about
Okay.
this issue.
Any Muslim organization which is protesting in Kerala?
I'm not sure. I can't name a specific one.
What's
but
the stance
most
of Muslim League in Kerala for this Waqf?
I think that most of the things against they're telling that the government is against them. They're taking it into a radical stance in every problem that the
Okay,
Muslims
so
are facing.
if that is the case, as per your understanding, that Muslim League, who represents the Muslims, and it's a political organization here, a political party, they are against Waqf amendment. So then why they went for a complaint to the High Court in the place called Taliparamb in Kannur, claiming?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm asking because they.
Yeah. So
actually
so what's the reason?
Yes, that's what I'm puzzled about because they gave a case in the Supreme Court. My question is that they are telling that they own like 39.2 lakh
what do you understand
acre
from
of land.
that? What do you understand from that stance? On one hand, they are opposing amendment, and the other hand, they are using the amendment to claim or to get some property. So what is that?
Yes. That's what I'm talking about, sir. The issue is that
so
telling that-
what do you understand
yeah.
from that? What are they literally doing?
they're just taking it, I think.
They are fooling Muslims. That's what they are doing.
Yes. But
Okay. They are fooling the Muslims. They are fooling the Malayali population. They are fooling the people in general.
But yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm talking about.
They
sir,
are
because
part of the
poor
UDF
Muslims
here.
are-
They are part of the
Yeah.
Congress ruling that conglomeration here, and they are even fooling the so-called left, and including the whole left, because they were the part of the resolution that they passed in the Legislative Assembly against Waqf. So
Yes, sir.
they
Yes, sir,
were
I'm talking
literally
about the whole India, sir.
they were literally
Whole
fooling
India,
the people. They were literally betraying the people.
Yes, sir. I was
So-
talking about the whole India, sir, because the problem
Whole
is
of
that
India,
they are-
whole
yes.
of India, there is a common issue. Nobody knows what exactly is Waqf, how it is going to affect the people, especially the opposition. So that's one big reason why they are trying to fearmonger, and they are drawing these innocent Muslims onto the streets, and they are now getting trapped in the the vigilantism of the Islamic terror groups, and now they are waging jihad against the kafir in our country, and that's what is going on in Bengal. How can we accept that? So who is the real culprits in causing all these riots?
Yes, sir. So is it the government that is using these Muslims to make a radical movement against
Which
Hindus
government?
to gain votes?
Which government?
I mean the ruling party, obviously the BJP.
If they are trying to do that, then this protest should happen in all states, in all places. Why that's not happening? Why only Bangladesh? West Bengal.
No, there actually, yes, the protests are happening in all states, right? I mean,
protesting is
like
totally
in the social
fine.
media.
Writing and protesting both are different.
Yes, not writing. I mean protesting.
We are talking about
I
writing.
mean the view. The
Protest
problem
is
that
fine.
they are. Problem is that they are telling that they own 39.2 lakh acres of land. The problem is that they're only 20%, and some of them are poor. So if they own 39.2 lakhs of acres of land, then they donated it. It is called the waqf, right? So they donated to their god.
The
So
issue
why
with
are they poor?
the issue with the amendment or the waqf bill is that some of the provisions of that bill that was existent, which gives undue power to claim any
Yes, sir.
land. That's one issue, and another biggest issue is the section 40 of that, which makes the Waqf tribunal the supreme authority, where
Yes, I know.
if they give a decision on some Waqf dispute, that will be final, and that person is not allowed to go to the High Court or to the Supreme Court. So that's something which is against the usual
Yes, I
legal
know.
rights
I
of a
was-
person, which
yes.
is guaranteed to any citizen of this country.
Yes, that I know that's what I was talking about, because that is because this whole waqf, this thing is whole unconstitutional. Then how did they give a case to Supreme Court? How is it even possible? Like the whole thing is unconstitutional, and how did they go against it? Like this bill is not okay. How can they give case?
See, you are just you are totally missed at this point. That is, going to the court is not unconstitutional. Going to the court is constitutional.
No. I understood. But there
Okay.
is no relevance.
Let's wait for the decision.
Yes, that is.
The decision is what decides whether it is constitutional or not. Going for a protest is not
No,
unconstitutional.
not that, sir. I was telling about the waqf bill. That not the bill.
That
the
will be
whole
decided.
waqf
First thing is whether that is
which was brought on by the
constitutional or
Congress.
not.
I was telling about.
Yeah, the
Yes,
debate
the
the
whole
debate
process.
on Waqf bill, whether that is constitutional or not, had to happen in the parliament. In the parliament, it didn't happen. Why? Because the opposition was sleeping over that. So they missed the bus. Now we have the option of debating over this Waqf, and the real democratic debate is now going on in the court. Let it happen there, and let's wait for the decision. And I'm pretty sure that the court will take a sane decision over that, because they cannot just ignore what is going on, the problems faced by the victims of Waqf Act, the previous one, where just like what we are seeing at Munambam or some other places, even when the moment when we are discussing this, we are hearing another news from Tamil Nadu, where a whole village is being claimed by the Waqf. So these are the issues which is going on in our country in the name of this Waqf. And what is giving them the right to claim a property? What is giving this
Yes, that's what I'm
undue
asking.
power? The court will decide on this now, and the court is totally functioning on a democratic principle. It's a pillar of democracy. So let's wait for the decisions. And let's share the shame that we experienced when the opposition was sleeping in the parliament. That's our biggest failure as
The problem
an
is
Indian
that
citizen.
what would they even have an answer to, like, counter? Because
Yeah.
the whole work thing is which was brought on by the Congress. I think it is anti-constitutional.
Yeah,
Like
all these-
how can they give the power to the tribunal to take decisions when
They
there's a
did
Supreme
that.
Court?
They did
Yes,
that.
that is the problem.
Yeah, now we have to question it. This is the right
Yeah.
time. Though it is late, let's do it now. Better to be late than never.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wait for the decision in the court.
Okay, sir. One more question is that so you are following science over religion, right?
Science over religion.
I mean, you're not.
I'm just
person
following
religion,
science,
right?
scientific
No.
method.
So what
Religion
is
is-
your explanation for how these all? I mean, creation, everything. What
Creation.
is the explanation?
Creation of what?
Creation of the world as humans.
Which
I'm
world?
not saying that you should.
Which world?
This Earth. No,
Earth.
the whole universe.
Whole
I
universe.
mean, the ecosystem, everything which we're living.
It is completed? The creation?
Universe. No, the completion. No, it is going on.
Going on. So how can you claim that it is a creation when when it is not yet
No, you have
completed?
to.
So how
It
can
has
you
to come
claim
from
that there's a
something, right?
creator for
It has to-
something
it has
which
to
is
come
still
from something,
under
right?
creation?
Yes, that is true. But it has to come
There's
from
no
something, right?
point in discussing that. You speak about idli puttu kadalakari or some noodles or something, and you take that in a
Okay.
plate and keep it on the table. You say, okay, this is over. This is being prepared. This is created. Okay, whatever word that you use, you cannot create anything. First thing is that. Okay.
I think
So
it's,
when you speak on a creator, first prove that something which is created already. There's nothing in this world which is created. Everything is evolving. So if you say that things have to evolve for a creator, that's a failure for a creator.
So you don't believe that these all things started from a point
Yeah,
of
we have
nothingness.
the probability to believe that. So let's
Yes.
go
So
with that.
we are not sure about anything, right? We are in
Probability
nothingness.
is
We are-
giving more chance. So
Ah,
let's
yes,
stick to that.
Yeah.
Okay. The probability for a god is 0. Not even
Ah.
an
Can you say
inch
0?
or a millimeter.
Can we
From
say 0?
0. Sorry?
1%, 2%?
0.
Because
Big zero.
we cannot. Why? I mean, I'm just.
Probability is 0. Total chaos, total disorganized things. There's no chance that a god who is a perfect designer or something like who claim to be a designer, something like that, to design something which is
I'm
so
not
much
telling-
chaotic.
Yeah, I'm not telling.
Do you
about
say that
some-
the world is in order?
No.
No. So how come a creator who is intelligent designer create chaos?
So.
So
another
do you
question is-
require a
yes.
creator to create chaos?
No.
No, that's it. Simple.
So,
You
what's
need not
the
you need not
truth?
get into deeper philosophical
Yeah.
explanations. It's
Yeah,
a waste of
I'm
time.
getting into this. So, why do you think that the Muslims are getting? Are the people are saying that Muslims are the number of Muslims are getting high. So, is the radicalization coming down or up? Is it increasing? I mean, I have a lot of Muslim friends, but they don't talk about anything like this. We are just casual friends. Just want to know, is this radicalization going to end somehow in someday?
Every Muslim is a potential jihadi. Only thing which decides whether they become a jihadi or not is how much Islam they know.
Okay.
If they learn Islam properly, there's only 2 chances. One is either they can become an ex-Muslim, they can leave the religion, or otherwise they can just become a jihadi.
Oh,
Okay. So what we are doing is to make them aware of Islam as early as possible, so that these Islamic jihadists, the perpetrators, they don't get a hold on these innocent Muslims. They will get a chance to know the things before they come to them. They will be desensitized. So they won't get that fascination, just like what I was having when I was a kid and I was growing up as an adult. I was always fascinated by the teachings of Islam towards the stricter the rules and regulations, the disciplining, and how the moral values are set, and everything which I learned from an Islamist perspective. Everything was perfect. So just after listening to some of the counter arguments, just like what we always say about what Jabba Mash said or people like him said, we got a chance to look at that. And also many other people around the world, like Apostate Prophet, Haris Sultan. There are many other people. These were the people who were running before us and who gave us a chance to look into this. And now we are moving forward together, doing the things together.
yes, sir.
That's it.
There are too many people who have studied the whole Quran, so they know everything in the book. So they obviously should know, according to you, that all these things are fake, right? Because there are so many errors in this and all.
It's
about
not fake.
things-
We are not saying that it's fake. We
No,
are saying that it's wrong.
Yes. So They should understand that there are people who has read it for 100 times and all, who has by-hearted it. So why are they paid by the political governments over the, political powers or something to do something like to rise?
When you criticize Islam, you have to step outside India and criticize Islam. Okay.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just.
Then only you will get a clear picture. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you must not criticize. You must criticize Islam, and while doing that, you have to step outside India and do that. If you are standing inside India, you will be always tied to some points like these, like you are a Sanki and other things. You won't be let to criticize properly.
Yes, that is the problem. If you're criticizing.
So when you ever venture into this mission of criticism of Islam, first thing that you have to do is to just imagine that you are standing in Afghanistan and doing this. That's it. Okay. Take care.
Yes, thank you.
Bye. Okay, so let's stop it now. It's almost 1.5 hours. One more call, last caller. Then we will finish it off. So who is that caller? Sharon Nixon. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Arana, who is this?
English പറയാവുന്നുണ്ടോ?
Yeah, only English. Today Wednesdays are for English people.
Seriously?
Sorry?
Seriously?
Yeah.
We can't talk in Malayalam?
Who is this? Who is this calling? Your name?
My name is Sharon.
Sharon.
And yeah, I'm a subscriber for a long time.
Congratulations.
And
thank you.
I'm calling you from Calicut right now.
Calicut. Okay. Please go on.
Sorry?
Please go on. What's the matter?
Yeah. Matter is, there is some people, while you are in the channel debate and all, people are saying that you are a Sangi and like that, right? And what is your opinion about that?
Very good opinion.
So you are proud to be a Sangi?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what Sangha do?
What do they do?
I mean, in North India, what they are doing, you are aware about that, right?
What? Give me an example.
Example like, for these Christians, they are discriminating them and they are torturing them. Even for when you are searching in Google or YouTube, you can see so many related videos like when they are worshipping in their church, they are going there, making problems, burning the church, like that. They will say, we will make the kingdom of Rama here. We don't want Christians, we don't want Muslims like that.
We must criticize them. There's no doubt in that, and I do that. Then still they call me a Sangi.
This kind of attitudes are not good in a secular country, right?
Of course, that's not good.
Yeah.
Of course,
for me, I am
it's
also
not good.
a BJP,
Of course.
BJP, activities. But this kind of things, when we are saying we are a Sangi, people will think like that only,
Let them think. Of course, that's.
We are criticizing them, like for each and everything there are positive and negative. But this kind of thing we have to react, right?
Why they are beating up these Christians? What's the reason?
Christian, because they just want to make this kingdom of Rama.
Okay.
They are telling
is that the reason?
This is a Hindu country.
Then if that is the reason, why these Sankis are not beating up the Christians in Kerala?
They can't, because the Lotus is not getting enough support in Kerala.
Sorry?
Lotus is not blooming in Kerala,
That's the reason. So you agree? Do you agree to the reality that the Christian missionaries operating in the north, they are forcefully not forcefully, they are cunningly converting the poor people, the Dalits and other people to Christianity?
But there is some truth.
Is that right? Is that right?
No, there is. See,
is that right or wrong?
Many aspects. No, it is not completely right.
Oh, completely right.
But no. Listen. They are converting, it is true, but it's not like that.
Then how is it?
Something like, I'm telling you.
Do you convert? Have you converted anyone?
No. See, I am a Christian, okay? But I got married to a Muslim. And I'm staying in a Muslim family right now.
Are you a Muslim now?
No, I'm not a Muslim. I'm a Christian.
Christian. Okay. You go to
Yeah.
church?
No, I'm not going church.
Why?
I'm not allowed to go.
Why?
Because I'm staying in a Muslim family, I'm not
He
allowed
stopped
to
you
go.
from going to church.
Yeah, I'm shameful to be
So
in
you
a
are a
Muslim
Muslim now?
family.
You are a non-practicing Muslim
Once I
now.
got come to this family, okay, after I came this family only, I came to see your videos.
Mm-hmm.
Before I didn't saw your videos. If I have saw before, I will never came here. I'm telling you.
Sorry?
If I see your videos before our marriage,
Oh, you
I
wouldn't
would have never come here.
Oh, okay. So now you
I'm
regret
so
coming
thankful. Yes. Only after coming here, after a long time, I realized something. I realized what is this? What the hell is going on? I realized. And then I am shameful to myself. I am being here now.
Okay. So now you regret your decision.
Yes.
Okay.
I regret.
So what's the answer to my question? Is it right to convert to take use of these vulnerable people, to convert them?
In our Kerala, we have good life situations and all, right? But in North India, it is not like that.
So
usually, in our India even,
then
there
I
is
understand.
this Gurukulam, something like that,
I know that,
only for
the
the Hindu
situation.
education.
So,
Yeah.
So what's your
Then
point?
these Europeans came here, these Christian missionaries came here, and they started schools, they started churches, and then people are started to getting education. You know that, right? Even this Mother Teresa who came there, she is also a Christian missionary. Can you deny her?
Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
You support her?
You know this Sahagara teacher?
You support Mother Teresa?
Of course.
Okay. What she did?
What she did, she is doing too much activities in Kolkata, raising the poor children, being a mother to them.
Are you aware of the scam in which Mother Teresa is involved in, using the sick children and to make them prevail in their conditions, like to perpetuate their sufferings, to siphon money from the West for her activities in India?
No, I don't know. I'm hearing this for the
that's
first
the
time.
reality. That's the there
Then
are some
why
Christian
did she
apologists.
get the Nobel Prize for Peace now?
Have you seen that even the Palestinian Authority leader Yasser Arafat got Nobel Prize? Trump got Nobel Prize.
But
Nobel
Mother
Prize.
Teresa
So do you
is,
think that Nobel Prize is the yardstick?
But she did a lot of charity work.
That's
for sure.
the scam behind these charity works. That's what I said. There are a lot of expositions happened behind that.
Really, I don't know about that. Just now I am hearing such a thing.
Yeah, now
Before
you can
I
go
read
and search more on that,
Before
and
I
you will
read
get
one speech of Sahagara teacher, you know Sahagara teacher, right?
See, what I'm telling you is this. There are problems in our country. Okay.
Yes.
There are some people who are utilizing those problems to their own benefits. So, what our real focus should be is to solve the problems.
Yeah.
But what is happening here is that these problems are being used for some other collateral purposes, like spreading religion and hijacking their money and other things. So when one side is doing this, that will trigger a reaction from other sides, which they themselves consider as the saviors of their side. So this is one reason why we see the conflicts in the north. And when I say this, I'm not supporting them, or I'm not trying to reason them. I'm just stating the fact which is going on there. Okay.
Okay.
So what
But
we should do?
you know,
Listen.
for each and every religion, there is a freedom,
Listen. What we should do as a government is to solve the issues, solve the backwardness, solve the problems of the poor, give them proper education, give them proper healthcare facilities and other things. This is what they should do. And
when you said healthcare, I have to ask
please
you.
Please listen.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the right way a government should act to stop the nasty people who are trying to use the opportunities like this. And it's not just the religion who is using all these. Even the pseudoscience in our country, the homeopathy, the Ayurveda and other things, they are also using the same healthcare which is lacking in the rural areas. They are using that as a reason for their own existence. And they are wasting our national money, the taxpayers' money. So there are a lot of issues going on there. So issues on one side, solving the issues on another side, and in between we are seeing a lot of people, stakeholders with their own vested interests using this for their own gains. Religion comes as the number one culprits in this. And in that, the Christians and the Muslims, these are the religions who are known for this, notorious for this. And this is a constant issue in India from time immemorial. And for this, there is always a counter force which is acting over there. They are also using their forces, their way of aggression to fight this. And we have to fight that also. But the problem here is that we only talk about the reaction. That's not fair. When you are speaking on the attacks over the Christian minorities, over some priests and other things, you have to speak on what illegal things or whatever the way of their own business that they are doing in such places like the conversions and other things. We have to address that. So that's not the way. So the government should act to stop such things. This is what I'm saying. Okay. You have to be fair in dealing with the problems. It's not just like you stay in a position where your birth aim is to oppose the right wing, and you keep on doing that. You cannot stop the right wing that way. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is fine.
Yeah. So
And
when I am called as a right wing, these are not the reasons why I am called as a right wing. Why I am called as a right wing is because some of the policies which the BJP government brings up, like the Uniform Civil Code, if I support it, do you support Uniform Civil Code?
Yes, of course I do.
Sorry?
Yeah, I support.
Then you are a Sanghi. That's it. That's all.
Yeah,
Are you a
I'm
Sanghi?
a BJP activist, I told you. But
are you
some of
a
these,
Sanghi now?
Some of these policies,
Are you a Sanghi
accept
now?
that it is not digesting. Yes, I am.
Are you a Sanghi now just by supporting Uniform Civil Code?
Yes, I am.
Then I am a Sanghi too. That's it.
This kind of, reaction from their side, this kind of activities is something.
Then why do you want to waste my time asking for an elaboration? Why I am not a Sanghi for these foolish reasons? Where did I support them?
No, I am a Sanghi, but we can talk against the things we don't like, right? We have the freedom. We have to point out these things are not right.
Of course, you have to point out, and who is claiming that that is something which is officially done?
Sorry.
Who is claiming that is the official stance of the BJP to beat Christians that way that fringe elements are doing?
When we are searching, there is too much hate speeches, not speeches from now. Before the recorded speeches, we were running in YouTube. And we are hearing this kind of things, a kind of fear is coming into the people's mind, what will happen?
Okay, let's sum up this way. Like we have to conclude this. So why you are seeing a rise of attacks over these Christian missionaries is, one thing is that the governments over there is failing, including the central government. So if they are not able to support the people, the poor, and provide them their basic necessities,
government is responsible for this thing.
So then we have to criticize that. That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks
and
for
I want to ask you one more thing, Mr. Hare. Regarding this maternity care, this delivery issue recently happened. There are people usually saying only these Muslim women are preferring to have a delivery at home, like that, right? But I want to tell you, the people like influencers like you, good activities like you, have to make some move for the, there is too many problems happening in our hospitals because all of these women are the victims of this mental torture from the hospitals.
Right. I have talked about that multiple times, and that's one issue which they are using to promote their vested religious beliefs and their interests. So that's one reason.
Not about the religion, about from the government aspect.
Yeah, I understand.
Guys, Yeah.
That's what I'm said. I
Too many things are happening.
Listen.
I'm just requesting you
Yeah.
to be make some move if you can for these stop these kind of things about this mental torture in every hospital this woman is facing.
Yeah.
And we don't want our government to be blamed for these home deliveries.
Okay.
We just want a safe side for that.
Okay. Anyway,
So I hope
understood.
the people like you can do something for that. I am requesting you.
I understood your point, and I just wanted to remind you that this is something which I have already spoken about, and there are some videos which is already published, which speaks about the way the people, the ladies are treated. The woman is treated in the hospital settings, especially while she lies in the labor room and the time around that. So that's one big issue which these people who are promoting the home deliveries, and they are cherry picking these reasons to promote their vested interests, especially the religion. That's what I'm saying. So the government has to come up with some solutions which promotes woman, child friendly, mother friendly hospital atmosphere, including a permission for the husbands to stay near the woman and to assist her and all that. These are the things which we expect in a modern society, and it's happening everywhere, and we are still denied of that. So we have to change that, and this is one reason which we are not seeing any proper discussion in our circles.
Yeah, these schools are taking this as a reason for promoting this home delivery.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for bringing up that.
Okay, thank you so much.
So one
Very
thing,
nice.
just one thing before. Tomorrow is your celebration, Pesach Vyaram. What do you call that in English? The Last Supper.
I think I don't
You
know.
forgot that.
I forgot.
Tomorrow is Pesach
I'm not
Vyaram, and day
going-
after tomorrow is Good Friday.
Really?
So do you have any celebration?
for
And
reminding
Easter
me.
is coming up.
Easter is coming also. I don't know when is Easter even.
So you speak high about secularism, religious freedom, and everything, and you yourself is a
I'm
Sanghi.
talking about the one who is getting tortured.
Yeah, you
Because
yourself
there
is a
is-
Sanghi, and you are still trapped in a love jihad.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, peace be upon you.
No, I don't want that peace.
Yeah, Maundy Thursday. Okay, Maundy Thursday it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Very nice to talk to you, Arif.
Yeah. Peace be
Have a
upon
nice
you.
day, bye.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. പാവം കൊച്ച് ഇത് അറിഞ്ഞിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങോട്ട് പോകില്ലായിരുന്നു പറയണേ. Anyway, good to know such people. So that was our last call, and we are winding it up now. Let's call it a day. So I hope you got an idea of how this functions. So we expect more people to join on our next Wednesday. So you can just keep an eye on the days and the topics which we publish, maybe half an hour before. So you can just keep a track on that. So let's wind it up now. Anyway, good to see a lot of people, mostly Malayalis, but still I am hopeful of getting more people from the north, because YouTube algorithm functions that way. Now this has to move forward, like more people will start listening to our channel. They will come and they will slowly get a taste of what is going on here, and I'm pretty sure that this is something very unique in our country or in the world itself. So let's make it a bigger event for all of the country. We will be seeing more people joining. So thank you so much for all those who joined on YouTube and on Twitter. Thank you so much, and we'll be having more of such sessions in coming weeks. So see you next Wednesday with this. Thank you so much. For the Malayali audience, we'll be there every day in Malayalam. So good night. എവിടെ പോയി? നമ്മളെ വീഡിയോ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ആളുകൾ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മളെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. മറ്റു രീതിയിൽ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന ആളുകൾ അങ്ങനെ പോയാൽ ശരിയാവില്ലല്ലോ. ബാങ്ക് കേട്ടിട്ട് പോയാൽ മതി. വെയിറ്റ്. there's a chat message which is pinned here. It's by Sanadani Devil. So it's about Sanadani Devil. Could you please make the comment in English so that people can read that? So also I wish you make a comment under the video after this live is over, so that I can pin that, so you will get more members in your channel and people can use the wonderful resources which is present in that group. It's a Telegram group that will be much useful for you. So I have just pinned it in our chat. You can also get it in our comment later on. Okay. The dance performance is not by me, it's by an ex-Muslima. Okay, she made this wonderful dance and she sent me that 2 versions. So we mixed it and we uploaded it in this way because no one should identify her as well, because it's difficult for it will make the things difficult for her. So we wanted to make it safer. So that something which is performed by an ex-Muslima. And she's from Kerala. So we'll have more of these kind of performances in the coming days. We are expecting more. Yes, Nizam, you can send me. Anyone can send the dance performance, but the only thing is the music should be this. You can perform with this music and send me. I will upload. Okay. And many people are asking about this new mic. This is being gifted by a friend, an atheist friend, not an ex-Muslim. And thank you so much. പേര് പറയണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ്. Thank you so much. Yeah. So next week നമ്മളെ വീഡിയോ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ആളുകൾ ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മളെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. മറ്റു രീതിയിൽ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന ആളുകൾക്ക് അതിൻ്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷനിലുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഓരോ ലൈക്കും ഷെയറും അതുപോലെ കമൻ്റ് ഇടുന്നതും ഇതിൽ ഈ വീഡിയോ അതിൻ്റെ താഴെ വരുന്ന കമൻറ്റുകൾക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ പ്രതികരിക്കുന്നതെല്ലാം തന്നെ വീഡിയോയുടെ റീച്ച് കൂടുന്നതിന് വലിയ തോതിൽ ഉപകാരപ്പെടുന്ന സംഗതിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് അതിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഏർപ്പെടണം എന്നും കൂടി ഞാൻ അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്. മറ്റുള്ള രീതിയിലുള്ള സപ്പോർട്ട് തുടർന്നും നിങ്ങളുടെ ഭാഗത്തുനിന്നുണ്ടാവും എന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നു.